I just read an excerpt from Jessica Simpson's new autobiography. Yes, Jessica Simpson, that Jessica Simpson, Daisy Duke, the chicken of the sea is chicken that lives in the ocean. Jessica Simpson, uh, and in the excerpt, it talked about her struggles. She's really candid about her struggles with being sexually abused, with being abused about her weight when she was trying to vie for space on the radio with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and alcoholism, drug addiction, and got me thinking about reality versus what we like to project on people, because she was mercilessly made fun of when she gained weight, lost weight, whatever that she did in her life. And when I think about all these autobiographies, all these biopics, all these stories that come out years later, for Freddie Mercury or Elton John or actually anybody, Judy Garland, even people we know had troubled lives. But when we find out what happened to a lot of these kids on these shows that we love to watch, uh, it brings to mind reality versus the fantasy, how much we project on everyone we meet. Even Howard Stern, if you ever never saw the Howard Stern interview with David Letterman, it's brilliant. It's so revealing. He talks about the costs of his maniacal pursuit of becoming king of all media. And maybe he would have paid those costs again, maybe not, I don't know. But when we get under the stories of anybody we meet, I'm listening to a podcast called Dear Young Rocker, and it's a 30-year-old woman musician who talks to her teenage self, and how much a 57-year-old man can relate to a 13 or 16-year-old girl, and the awkwardness of just being a human is amazing to me. So for me, when I look at people, and I get to talk to people every day, all day, about what's really going on in their lives. So I really get to see behind the veneer, but I still get fooled. I still look at stars. I still look at people who look happy up on screen or in print, or even, as I'm walking through my business club or a networking meeting, oh, they got it all together. My brain still tells me all that, even though I know the truth behind everything. So comparing our insides to other people's outsides, comparing our subjective stories to what we make up about other people, is a way towards hell. Uh, my hope for us is that when we see these biopics, when they come out and they actually go on Oprah or wherever and actually tell their stories, that we actually listen to the real lives that people live, no matter what it looks like in print, on stage, or what we project in our mind when we meet people. Everybody's got a human life. Yes, people suffer, people are oppressed, people have challenges that we can't imagine. I don't live in war-torn Syria. I live in lovely Leesburg, Virginia. So there's a difference there, but everybody's inner game is an inner game. We have people in high positions of power who just live in constant fear of being found out for being frauds or being inadequate or whatever. Not being powerful enough, not being rich enough, not being famous enough, not being pretty enough. It's all the inner game. So what I learned, from all of these autobiographies and all these stories, and really came to mind when I saw Jessica Simpson's, is that we're all human. That we're all dealing, and it's not just a meme. It's not just something we say. We really are all human. We really are all dealing with something, and compassion, and connectedness, and kindness, and even just shutting up. Like, just don't make fun of someone to make yourself feel better. uh, it's just not a good route. So when we talk about mastering midlife, when we talk about mastering life in general, letting people have their lives, showing love and compassion for not knowing what's below the iceberg of what we see and what's really going on, I think is a true source of connection, and happiness, and letting go. Well, thank you for listening to me today, and go find a biopic and go relate to someone. Oh, and by the way, that Dear Young Rocker podcast, Go find it on iTunes or SoundCloud. Really, really good. It's amazing how much a grown man or woman will relate to this young girl's escapades and internal world. I love you and have a great rest of the day.